Welcome everyone. This is the Ugly Stick Fantasy League podcast.
Hey.
I'm official Yahoo Test,
Oh, hello.
and this is
I am. I'm your commissioner.
yeah. What do you go by on that
This is
again?
this is your commissioner speaking. Phaneuf Said this year.
Okay, so maybe as a bit of introduction, you can explain to everyone that reference because I've got to admit I don't get it, but you're going to find very quickly that I know almost nothing about hockey memes.
So yeah, I've got Dion Phaneuf in my team this year. His name vaguely sounds like enough,
hmm
and I found a really good picture of him looking surly. So I thought, it's a good way to name your team.
Was he a keeper?
No, I picked him up in the draft.
And what pick did you use?
Oh, that's testing me. It was late. I'm going to say about the 11th round or something.
But so did you decide on this team name after you picked him up?
Yes, that's how I roll. I see who's in the team and then I pick him up.
Okay. So I don't know. I just wonder if that sheds some insight into your personality.
Leave things to the last minute.
Well, yeah. Are you planning ahead and saying, well, I know who's going to be my first pick, but I guess you would have had a crap pick anyway, right? You would have been seventh or something.
I was
When have you
last
10th?
pick.
10th, yeah, right. So apart from your
Um,
keepers.
but I had five keepers, so my pick wasn't until round six. So yeah, it took a while. There's a little bit of sitting around there, but that's all good.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, you'd have to have used your keepers.
Yeah, that's right.
Your keepers, guys. So then we would have seen it coming, I guess. So it wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah. Well, he was round 14. There you go.
Okay. There you go.
So not my first choice. That's for sure.
Okay, well, the purpose of this is just to wrap up the week. We don't actually have a name for it. The name I said at the beginning of the show, it's up for grabs. So I'm not really sure how we're gonna take submissions. Maybe I'll start a straw poll and link it here. But we're open to names, and I think something along the lines of a hockey meme would probably be appreciated. But Jacob and I will be the arbiters of that, I guess.
That's right. The commissioner has final say, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, bit of a wrap up for this week. Do you have the scores there in front of you?
So week one's always a weird one because it starts midweek, so it runs from a Wednesday and then to the Sunday, and then all the way from Monday to Sunday again. So we're halfway-ish, a third of the way through this first round. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how things start because it always starts differently to how things end. Teams are rusty. Guys with more veterans are always a little bit slower to start. The young guys always go really gung ho. So the first week doesn't really always represent what's going to happen through the whole season. So it's interesting to watch the stats at this point of the year.
And may I ask, do you know if there's a term for that? I mean, because in MMA, for example, that's called ring rust. Well, I guess it's boxing as well, actually. I should correct myself on that. I think it's actually a boxing term. But it's called ring rust. Do you know if there's anything similar to that in...
No, I don't really know of any term that they use, but it'd be interesting. Again, anyone that knows what it's called, hit us up. We always like to learn some stuff.
Mm-hmm. We should
The
get some
ugly
kind of
stick.
public contact way. I'll think about
Yeah,
it.
we'll
Hit
make
us up.
this happen.
Hit us up if you can think of a good way to make us contactable publicly.
Yeah.
So,
In the meantime, we've got the group chat, so feel free to be active on that. Which players are killing it so far, and
that's good.
and what's going on.
Let's look at some highlights. Well, I'm gonna jump straight in here because this is where I can contribute. I do know that we had 2 hat tricks on the opening
Yep.
night, and I can't remember who the other one was, but definitely one of them was my boy. Did talk about him a bit in the draft, but I think my boy is it Phil Simmons? I probably should have had his name up.
Yeah, he
Wayne
definitely,
Simmons, damn it.
Wayne Simmons. Yeah, Wayne Simmons.
Yep. he was one
The
of my
other,
keepers.
the other was Alex Ovechkin, which was one of my
Oh,
keepers. So
of course.
good day for us.
I did actually see that. What a he's I felt that he was a bit of a slow starter last year, so he ended obviously very well. But what do you think?
Yeah,
Bodes well for the season. Flash in the pan.
Oh.
I mean, you can't say that with Ovi, I guess. I mean, guy's a legend.
Yeah. Well, Ovi, another quick stat. He is the first player in 100 years to score 2 hat tricks in the 2 opening games. So he's having a blinder. This is the best I've ever seen him start. He's actually looking fit, and that's been one of his biggest issues. So yeah, I'm glad I held on to him.
I was going to ask you, when you said 2 opening, you mean like this year and last year or something?
No, this year the first game and the second game.
Oh, the second game.
Hat trick in both games.
Oh, that's pretty good. I didn't know that. That's amazing. Well, that's a very good start.
And yeah, Wayne Simmons had an awesome game. I think he scored pretty much. Well, he scored 2 goals from tips in front. So
but I think you get in the heart. You got an empty netter though.
And the empty netter. But man, it doesn't matter. That's
so,
that's how.
No one threw hats onto the ice for that. That's like fair enough. Fuck, empty netter.
It was an away game though, wasn't it?
Look, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, and Connor McDavid's also scored a hat trick this year already.
That's the guy I was thinking of. Yeah, it wasn't Ovechkin. It was.
Yeah. So it might have been Ovechkin. Could have been the second day, but it was an opening game hat trick.
Yeah, for sure. No, it was. I'm pretty sure. It's what we just.
Yeah, Connor McDavid definitely scored a hat trick as well, which is amazing. Seeming he's only, it's his 3rd year now, and he's.
And you're right, it was an away game for Simmons. Anyway, that's enough about those guys. Anyone else?
So if you look,
where would you go?
So if you're on the Yahoo page, if you just hit that players link, and then you change it to all players, it'll show you a list of everyone that is in the league. And basically, yeah, you can do it by the current rank. So if you hit that current down arrow, it'll tell you who's on top. And yeah, we see Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons, the old. So I've got a question for you about your team name. What is this like? You're trying to play mind games or something with the official Yahoo test?
I don't play mind games. What are you talking about?
So this is like, people think that we've contracted Yahoo into the league because, that's where we're at.
I never said that.
I want to talk about goalies.
Okay. Yep.
I want to talk about one goal.
I don't want to talk about my goalies, but yeah, let's talk about anything. There's goalie.
There's one in particular I want to talk about. It's a Marc-Andre Fleury.
Okay. Yep.
He was an unsigned player until today. He was picked up by Puck University. Mm-hmm. He's in net for the Vegas Golden Knights. So an expansion team. No one really expected anything of him. He's come out and he has played 2 absolute blinders. He is basically, is killing it. And you'd never expect an expansion team to beat a team like Dallas. And then today, Arizona, they're an up-and-coming team. They're getting better. But yeah, Vegas Golden Knights, absolutely killing it. Marc-Andre Fleury, 155 rank before the season. He's currently at .98 goals against, 973 save percentage. Just absolutely having a blinder. And Puck University, if he keeps this up, you've picked up a real winner.
What do you think of the chances, though, of him keeping up the form?
So before, when we were talking about, the teams that have more veterans on them tend to start a little bit slower. Expansion teams generally, as a general rule, pick up a lot of young guys. So right from the start, they're, out of the blocks. And I think Vegas were really clever in the way that they use the expansion draft, because they picked up a lot of young guys who are fast and fit and, hard skaters, but they picked up players for specific things. And I reckon Fleury was one of them, and James Neal is the other one who is having, he's scoring goals at will at the moment. He is absolutely, playing. This is reminiscent of him 4 or 5 years ago when he was in Pittsburgh. This is, classic James Neal.
Was he on Nashville or some other team between Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Because when I had him, I don't remember him being on Pittsburgh, because I only had him like last year or the year before.
Yeah, so he was Nashville between then.
Oh, okay, so that was lucky. Remember.
Yeah. Okay. So it was short-lived time before he got picked up by Vegas, but yeah, he's found his groove down there.
Yeah. Well, he is getting Fleury, though, is getting beaten out by Quick.
Yep.
See, he's doing pretty well. Oh, he has a shutout,
Yeah,
but
quick a shutout and then a nice win today against San Jose. So sneaky .983 save percentage, which is massive. If you can keep that pace up, you're definitely in line for a couple of trophies.
Okay, not too bad. All right, so the next part I'd like to move on. Well, actually, do you have any other game highlights you want to mention?
While we're talking about goalies, definitely watch Jake Allen's save from today on Jamie Benn. So the Blues versus Dallas, definitely watch the match highlights because that will be a save to remember. Jamie Benn is a prolific goal scorer and Jake Allen absolutely stumped him. So yeah, get on the video highlights of that one.
Highlights. I like to move on to a bit of a fun thing. So go do a quiz. Okay.
Here we go.
We're going to do a quiz. Now, I think obviously we want to keep it hockey related, so we're going to choose a hockey player. We'll see how this goes.
But I'll try and stick to yes and no.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with these kind of games. Like, looking for cheaters is what I'm saying. I'm very good at looking for cheaters in these type of games, so don't worry. I'll call you out.
Okay.
I'll call you out if you try it. If I notice that you're using rules.
That's what I need in my life.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, is this player a goalie?
No.
Is this player a defender?
No.
Okay, so we got a forward. Is this player in the Eastern Conference?
Give me a sec. I don't know. No.
Alright, so we got a forward from the Western Conference. Was this player a keeper in the Yahoo League, in our Ugly Stick League? Yeah, if you go players, there's a protected keepers tab as well.
Oh, very good. Much better place. See, look up, you're just nailing this, the website. Okay. Yes, he was a keeper.
I won't change the tab that I'm on now. Alright. Did he play for LA? No. Or does he play for LA? No. Doesn't play. Does he play for Dallas? No. Oh man, I don't know how many questions that is, but that's probably 6 or something.
It is 6. Very, very, very astute observation.
Does he play for... Alright, is he a center?
No.
Man, don't know how to ask these questions to narrow it down enough.
That's kind of the trick with 20 questions.
Yeah, that's it. Is it a Canadian team?
No.
Okay, an American team. To your knowledge, has this team won a Stanley Cup in the last 5 years?
Yeah, I'm almost certain. I can check, but I'm almost certain they have.
You're almost certain they have. So we're talking about LA, Pittsburgh, or Chicago then. We've said it's not LA, so I'm going to go with Chicago. Do they play for Chicago? Okay, that would probably lead me to say, is it Patrick Kane?
It is. The 2016
nice.
MVP.
Patrick Kane of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Pretty good. That was 9.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I was really doubting myself with the East and Western thing, and I'm like, where is Chicago? Because I kind of felt like Chicago was East. I think I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Boston or something.
I think that you're like it's weird because they're like right in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I actually looked at the map, and they're definitely a lot more east than west, but I guess population-wise, maybe not.
Yeah, and there's a lot of teams that they split the leagues up, or they split the divisions up based on like rivalries and stuff. So yeah, they're slipped into the West.
Cool. All right. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. There's one little segment I'd like to do, which is the fantasy tip of the week.
Okay.
And I would like to point out a website to people, which they may or may not know of, but I find it really helpful. It's called dailyfaceoff.com. And dailyfaceoff.com is awesome if you want to know who the starting goalies are for the next day, or if you want to know, who's on which line. So who's on the top line for any team. You just hit the team and it tells you the line combinations that they expect to play. Tell you the starting goalies for as soon as they know them, they'll be in there. So that's something I like to look at, at least once a week. And then when I'm picking my goalie selections, I do that, once every couple of days just to see who's going to be, who's going to be up against who and who's actually going to be sitting a net. Because the last thing you want to do is leave someone on the bench when they're on a hot streak and, the guy you put on the ice is sitting there counting shots. So
it's particularly important for the goalies. I think if any of our viewers, listeners, new to fantasy hockey, the goalies will sting you throughout the season.
Definitely.
If you don't keep an eye on them, because sometimes the GM he's gonna or whatever, the coach I guess is gonna want to chuck the backup goalie in for a bit of ice time. And so
that's right.
You want to, if you've got three goalies, for example, that can sting you. I've been stung. I gotta tell you, it's probably the most painful feeling in fantasy hockey. I gotta say, and maybe in real life, the most painful feeling in real life to leave. Your goalie doesn't. He's on the bench, and what does he go ahead and do? Gets
a shutout.
First shutout of the season.
Yep.
And it'll be a 45, shot banger.
Yeah, yeah. That's I think I.
And it's just that single performance would have won you that entire goalie stat for the week. Every single stat.
I agree with you. That is probably the most painful thing in life that can happen.
I see on this website they're referencing slates a lot. What are they going on about with slates?
Where are you seeing these references on the front page?
Yeah, Daily Face-Off short slate strategy. The Daily Fantasy.
I think it's just saying like in the short term, in the long term sort of thing. I'm not 100% on that. I haven't read through a lot of the articles on there.
How do you attack a 3-game slate like this, knowing the Stars will be so heavily owned?
Okay, I think it's kind of saying that they're got 3 games, like a a road trip, 3 in a row kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And what do you do in fantasy terms when they're getting hammered?
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess my tip would be read the article.
Yeah.
For any Stars owners out there, have a read.
And do you want to mention any endorsements or similar that you're receiving for?
As commissioner, I would like to endorse everyone in the league because you guys are all legends for setting your team every week.
Well, I guess we're going to finish on that note. The brown note.
Yep. Yeah. So I guess the other thing that would be really cool is let's get guys involved. If you got something to say, or if you just want a bit of banter, feel free to sit in on our new mini podcast series that we're going to try and run this year.
Yep. So thanks a lot for that, Jacob. Actually, the goal is we're going to try and produce this every Sunday night. I think because once we get swinging on the regular schedule of the season, I think that'll work best to review games. And
that'll lead us into our last day of the last day of the fantasy league is the Sunday. So
even better.
So we'll see those last day face-offs.
Yep. And this is just a Google Hangout, so we'd be happy to bring anyone along. As long as you've got a microphone, you can join. And
Yeah, and something else that would be really cool is if we can we'll get together for a couple of beers one week and maybe we'll film it and have some banter there.
yeah, maybe leading up to the playoffs. So obviously,
Yeah, brilliant.
Been a bit of a tense time for the playoffs. I know my sphincter really is clenched.
Yeah, and that's it's hard for you these days. Yeah. Yeah, but like always, any questions or comments about the league, let us know in the chat. Otherwise, enjoy it, have fun, and yeah, bring on the season.
Yep. Thanks a lot, and don't forget to suggest a name.
All right, cheers, mate.